Hello there, this is Chris from MAJESTICA and WIZDOOM, and you're watching That Metal Interview.
That Metal Interview.
Hello. Welcome back, metalheads and headbangers as I am. Your friend James from the planet Earth, from the state of Texas, from the US of A, welcomes you from wherever you are in tune to and listening to That Metal Interview, whether it be on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or whether it be the YouTube video version of this episode and podcast. We truly appreciate your support. Thank you 110% for listening to our rock metal podcast, which is very different than others because we not only interview rock stars, we interview death metal stars and metal stars. So different genres that we cover. And if you want to get technical, we also interview symphonic metal bands, power metal bands, doom, sludge, and all of the above. Alternative rock metal. Anyways, all that under the umbrella of rock metal. We cover and interview here all those artists and people. On this episode, we have Chris David. Christian Davidsson is our guest. He plays bass in MAJESTICA and some vocals there. He sings lead vocals with his band WIZDOOM and plays bass, and records guitars and bass there in that band, so as he talks about. And as if that wasn't enough, he also is a member of Therion, however you might want to pronounce that, Therion, symphonic metal band from Sweden. They used to be more death metal, now they're more symphonic, I would say. And he is a part of that band too, so he has a full plate, and he talks about juggling all those three bands. And anyways, right now let's check out something from their new album, dropping February 7th of 2025, very soon here. And this is the title track and song by the name of Powertrain. MAJESTICA, check it out. Symphonic metal is what you just tasted there, an awesome taste. The Swedish metalers delivered their third full-length album, February 7th, 2025. We encourage you to pre-order, support the band when you see them live, on the road, on social media, support the guys. And our special guest for this episode is Chris Davidson, bassist and vocalist, co-vocalist, or should I say bassist and backup vocalist for the symphonic metal band Majestica. He does lead vocals for WIZDOOM, which he will talk about, and will give us an update on that and an update on Therion to see what's going on there with those guys. So let's keep it short and go straight into our chat with the great Chris David of Majestica. Here we go. So first question, ask everybody, where are you? What part of the planet?
I'm in Sweden. I'm in the woods in Sweden. There is nothing here.
That's cool. Privacy, right?
Oh yeah.
So is the whole band from Sweden?
Yeah, we are, but pretty different parts of Sweden, so we are spread out. Yeah.
How do you guys rehearse? Do you guys all travel to a part of Sweden? Do you rehearse?
We rehearse here where I live. It's a small city. It's like an hour from the border to Norway, and we rehearse here, so everyone travels here to Hagfors, it's called.
Very cool. I'm in Texas, in the U.S. I've never been to Sweden or Europe, so one day hopefully I can make it over there.
Yeah, that would be cool. But I've never been to Texas. I hope I can go there one day.
Right. Hopefully, yeah. So let's go back to your past, Chris. Let's start from the beginning, from your career, if you will. At what age did you pick up an instrument, or did you start singing? Were you kind of a young boy, or?
Yeah, I was. I think I was 7 when I started playing piano at the local music school. And then, I played piano for a couple of years, and I've always been a metal fan. So I started playing guitar instead. So I changed to guitar, and then somehow I discovered Motorhead and thought that Lemmy was the coolest guy on earth, so I figured I would play bass instead.
You threw the piano to the side.
Oh yeah.
So that was one of my questions. Which band or artist got you into music? And there you go, Motorhead, Lemmy, I guess, huh?
Yeah, Motorhead. I would say Black Sabbath as well. The first CD I had was Def Leppard, like a greatest hits from Def Leppard. I got it when I was like 6 years old.
Nice.
So I listened to a lot of Def Leppard, of course. It was also one of these that had two. It was a double CD, so it had a live CD as well. So that's where I started to enjoy this live thing. And then, of course, Iron Maiden, Metallica came a bit later.
Of course. Which is the first song you learned, Chris? The first song on guitar?
Yeah, that's a good question. Could be, well, I guess Smoke on the Water.
Yeah, that's pretty easy, huh?
Yeah. But then I know I played Fear of the Dark a lot on the guitar.
Okay, Maiden, yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
So which was your first band? Of course, it wasn't Majestica. Where did you start it on stage?
The first band was called, I think it was a band called When Eden Burns.
Okay.
It was death metal.
Nice.
Some kind of thrash death metal. It was a couple of friends, when we were in school. Yeah.
Very cool.
I was maybe 14, 15 years old at that time. 15 maybe.
So at what point does Majestica come along, and what? How did this start?
Majestica was another band before called Rainseed, and Rainseed, I joined Rainseed in 2012. I went to this music school in LA called the Musicians Institute, and then when I was about to go home, a friend of mine who was already in the band asked me if I wanted to play bass with them. So I said yes, that would be nice. I don't have a gig when I get back to Sweden. And then this Rainseed thing went going for a couple of years, and we decided that we're gonna cancel the band, and we will see, maybe we will start it up again one day, for different reasons. We had some contract issues with the labels and management, and there was also some issues with the members. So we decided that this is not fun, and me and Tommy continued, and the guitar player Alexander Oris continued writing some songs just to see that one day we're gonna release this, maybe as Rain Seed or maybe as something else, and then it became Majestica in 2019, and from there on it's been Majestica.
So which is first, Majestica or WIZDOOM?
Majestica was first. WIZDOOM is a pretty new thing. WIZDOOM has been going for maybe almost 2 years. 2 years now. It's 2 years, yes.
About 2 years. We'll get to WIZDOOM right now. That way you can tell the fans and us metal fans all the story and an update on that and all that. So right now, let's touch up on Powertrain dropping February 7th of 25, Nuclear Blast Records.
Oh yeah.
Where did that name come from, Powertrain?
It was we kind of wanted to create the concept of an album that was not a concept album. So we figured we would do some kind of journey where there would be different groups of people, and these people would represent a few songs, you know. So it's a concept album, but it doesn't have to be, the whole album doesn't have to have, you know, a certain let's say story or something, so we can do different stories. Then we thought, okay, let's do some kind of a ride, and then it became Powertrain because we have our rehearsal place next to the train museum, and there's train tracks where we are actually going in the video.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was just something that came up. We have been standing there when we were rehearsing, like, you can do a pretty cool music video here. You know, we're gonna do that one day. And then when we were coming up with the concept, then it became Powertrain.
That's cool. You already have the background for the video. Very cool. A cool place.
Oh,
so
it's nice.
I got to hear the album, and it's awesome. Congrats on that. It's power from top to bottom. Maybe like two slower metal, awesome stuff too. But the whole thing just kicks off with Powertrain, and of course you got some sounds in there of train stuff, and very cool. Did you guys plan this out to make it powerful from top to bottom? Did you just write stuff?
This was kind of planned, I would say, because when we came up with this, even the music video for Powertrain was actually an idea before the song existed. So we had this idea about this train when we came up with the title, and then like, okay, it's going to be these different people and they're going to represent different songs, and then we were sitting like, okay, so we want some Majestica fans, for example, and that's the song Alliance Anthem. So they represent that song, and then we were like, okay, of course we want some heavy metal people because it's metal, so it's gonna represent this song. So we kind of did a list with song ideas. The list was longer. There was more ideas than it ended up being, just so we could elaborate a little bit on okay, if we're gonna do a song about a movie, which movie is it gonna be? So we put a few different movies, and you know, kind of tried a few riffs and felt a little bit of what suits a movie in this style, you could say.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I noticed on Alliance Forever you share vocals, and whose idea was that? You know what? It's let me sing there a piece instead of the lead singer singing the whole deal.
Yeah, this has been something that's been growing for the band.
Yeah.
Because we started with this on the A Christmas Carol album, when we had this, you know, we were different characters.
Yeah.
So then obviously everybody had to sing, because otherwise there wouldn't be different characters.
Yeah.
And this concept, the fans really like this. So you know, I really like to sing, and I sing in WIZDOOM, and you know, that's something I think is fun. And then the other guitar player, he is singing lead vocals in his band, Mad Hatter. So it kind of just like have been growing, like, okay, so here we need to change the sound a little bit, then you can sing, and this song needs a bit of a different vibe when we come to this part, maybe then you can take over there. So it's been just growing over a few years, this different or having these other band members singing leads.
Well, that's cool, because sometimes there's musicians that they want to hog up the whole mic, and you know what, I'm the lead singer and don't sing, only I'm gonna sing. In this case with you guys, you guys share the mic and you're open to a democracy of sharing vocals as far as the storyline and all that, like you said. That's cool. Wow, very cool.
Yeah, I think so. It adds a little flavor to the sound, I would say. So I think it's great.
And you got a badass voice, by the way. I mean, I heard your stuff on WIZDOOM. It's awesome. Awesome. You got a high pitch, you got a low pitch, all kinds of ranges, and you do a little bit of rough stuff. And so what's going on with WIZDOOM? What's going on there?
WIZDOOM has been, we did a little tour in May this year. We did even play this cool festival called Desert Fest, one of them. There is a different Desert Fest. There is one in New York, there's one in London, one in Berlin or something. So we did this in one in London. And then my time has been with MAJESTICA to record the album, so I haven't really had a lot of time, but we released a couple songs this year, and I have one more ready, but it's gonna be, I think, early next year for that song. And then my plan is to start writing the actual debut album, because the first one was just an EP.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a writing process right now.
Yeah.
But it's cool. I'm a big fan of Doom, epic Doom metal.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's a very
hell yeah, good
project.
stuff, awesome stuff. Congrats, yeah.
Thank you.
I dig the song "Way of the Lost." The one with the campfire noise and all that. Talk about this song. How did this title come up and the campfire stuff?
So Way of the Lost, the songs on the debut EP is all based on different creatures that is kind of, famous in Sweden in history. That was a long way back. And it's about something called, I don't know how to even get it in English. It's called skogsrå.
Okay.
It's wood, forest elf or something like this. And that one is kind of what it does is that it makes you lost in the woods. So people went out in the woods and they were working there for days, and then they never came back. And it was this kind of wood forest elf that seduced them to disappear. So that is how this Way of the Lost thing came, and it's a little bit of a story like that. And then I figured it would be cool to do it at a campfire and tell the story, because when you read many of these books telling about it, they are usually disappearing when they are at the campfire or something like this. They sit there and then just take a little walk around the campfire or something, and then they disappear and never come back. So I thought it was a cool thing to do it.
Very cool idea. It's nice. How did you train your voice to sound like that, to all those ranges, high ranges and different styles and this and that? Did you take classes, or is it just natural?
I did take classes, but that was when I was young. That is 20 years ago, probably, since I did that. And then I just didn't sing for many years, and I thought I just didn't have something to do for a year. So I was like, okay, let's try sing again. And then I just tried different things, and somehow it worked out.
Coming back to MAJESTICA, this new album, Powertrain, how long was the writing process? Because the last one was the Christmas Carol, I'm sorry, 4 years ago. So why the long wait, and how long did this take to write the Powertrain?
It took the writing process wasn't that long, actually. The thing is that we wrote a bunch of songs, and then we thought, they are not good enough, so we didn't move on with those songs, and we redid almost the whole album again. They were great songs, but they didn't connect to each other. There was just something like, okay, this is a good song on its own, and this is a good song on its own. But it wasn't an album together. So we thought that, okay, let's redo it. And as Tommy has been playing with Sabaton, they have busy schedules, which takes a lot of time of his time. And I play also with another band called Therion.
Yep.
Which is also has been touring a lot the last couple of years. So we haven't had that much time to spend on the songwriting. which is why it's been taking this long. But then last fall, we could say, is when we came up with the concept, and then it just took like 4 months to have all the songs ready.
They just kind of clicked together, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we actually rented a house in the woods, and we went there for a week, and we were just brainstorming, coming up with, small parts of songs and listening to them, and made some kind of list of this is what we're gonna continue working on.
Did you guys, when writing this stuff, did you guys think of the fans or how it's gonna sound live, the sound of it, or do you just write on the spot? You know what? This sounds cool. Let's do this.
Both. I think a few songs is been having this. Okay, we need to make this for a live. This is gonna be super cool. We want it to be. The tempo should be a tempo where people can, headbang, or it can't be too fast all the time because then it's too much live, or it can't be too slow because that is not as fun live when you play power metal. So some of that, and also that it has to have some kind of sing-along songs, also some parts where you can clap your hands properly, and things like this. But also some of the songs is just, let's just write whatever we feel for and let it go.
Yes.
So I think that's pretty cool with the record, because that's how the record has this kind of nice journey to it with different parts and different sounds a little bit.
Yeah, fans are gonna like it. It's awesome. It kind of reminds me of a touch of Halloween with a touch of Malmsteen. I guess the Halloween vocalists join Malmsteen, something like that. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, well, that's a good explanation. I like it. I mean, that's inspirational sources. So I think that's a good
description,
good explanation.
Yeah, well, that's just my 2 cents. That's the way everybody has different ears. But it's awesome. In other words, it's awesome.
Oh yeah, cool.
So, how did you land the gig with Therion? What happened there? Of course, they just got in touch with you, and can you talk about that?
It was exactly before the pandemic, which was kind of annoying. So I was on tour with another band called Athanasia, and we were supporting Dragon Force. And then I heard through, I saw it on the internet actually, that they were gonna look for a live bass player. And then through some friend, they got in touch with me. So we just, were writing a little bit, and then we thought, okay, let's try this out. So I went down to the rehearsal place and did like a little tryout right after that tour. But then the pandemic came, so there was no show. So all the shows were canceled.
Oh, yeah. Horrible.
For 1.5 years. So basically, I was about to join the band in 2020 already. But then the first live show I did was in 2021 or 2022 or 2021, late 2021, I think.
Wow.
So that's how it happened, through some context and through some internet observations.
So how's that experience so far, playing with those guys?
It's cool. I mean, I learn a lot. Of course, they are very experienced. They've been going for a long time. So I can, learn things on how it works live, and also meet their fans and, get their fans to check out my bands and things like this. So I think it's been a really good time. The guys are really nice as well. So I've had a lot of fun. Yeah.
Very cool. You guys are a superstar band in a way. I mean, you got Tommy playing with Sabaton, you got yourself with Therion, and you guys are Majestica. It's awesome, of course. Have you guys thought of teaming up a tour maybe with Sabaton or something like that, with Therion or Majestica? WIZDOOM?
Yeah, well, it was actually almost happening once with the Therion. There was a question for doing Majestica and Therion, but it was too much, because we were going to play so long show with Therion that it wouldn't work with Majestica. And then, of course, Sabaton had some shows in there, so it didn't end up happening. And that tour actually never happened either because of the pandemic.
Yeah. It happens.
But Majestica, Majestica has had this. It's been hard to do touring with Majestica, as we have been playing with these other bands. So this has never really happened yet. The opportunity to be on such a big tour, because we have only done smaller things, or shorter things, you could say, because it's been, schedule conflicts all the time. But now we will have the opportunity to do it full on next year. So maybe in the future it will happen. I hope so.
Right. So you record guitars and basses for WIZDOOM, correct?
Yeah.
And then live you play guitar.
No bass.
Bass, or you do bass for both, of course. I thought I saw you playing guitar for one of the bands, but I know it's bass for Majestica. How many?
No, yeah, I play bass with all of the bands.
All the bands,
live.
okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever played guitar with a band, or?
Not live. Yeah, you know, just some kind of cool rock show or something. I played a few songs. I also worked as a guitar teacher for a few years, so I did some shows with kids.
There you go. You're a great guitar player. You're a great musician. It's cool.
Thank you, man.
As far as Powertrain, Chris, is there something you would change? Are you 100% satisfied with the production and the arrangements?
I think I'm pretty much 100% satisfied. We put so much effort into making it perfect that, yeah, I don't think there is much to change, really. You know, we spent, 15 hours a day for a month to get this done correctly, re-recording things, try other things, get the sound perfect, miking and all this stuff. So I don't think there's much we could have done in a different way. Of course, there is maybe, for something that I could hear in some second in some song where I was like, oh, why didn't we fix this issue? But that's something no one else is gonna hear. So I think it's, we gave it all, and I think you can hear that.
Yeah, oh yeah, sounds awesome. Do you sit there and listen to your own music, Chris? Do you sit there in your car, in your home, and jam out to one of your bands?
Only when writing, not that much afterwards. Because, I usually record the bands. I record Majestica, and I also record WIZDOOM and do WIZDOOM I mix and do all these things myself. So I've heard the songs 1 billion times before it's released. So I don't, maybe like A Christmas Carol, I always listen to it once during the Christmas season. And then I need to rehearse the songs, of course. So I don't really go sit in the car and listen to my own songs that much, no.
You mentioned Motorhead, Def Leppard, Priest earlier. What's on your playlist? Are those bands still on your playlist, or what do you listen to nowadays?
The last few weeks, it's been a lot of Accept, actually.
Nice.
Actually, the last month, I would say. The last 6 months, maybe. It's been a year of heavy metal this year for me. It's been, a lot of heavy metal.
Oh, yeah.
Like Man of War as well, and things like this. But I also listen to like Alice in Chains.
Nice.
I liked it to Jerry Cantrell solo album he did this fall.
Oh yeah.
So it could be some of that. I try to listen to some new metal as well, to discover what's happening. So I kind of follow this all new metal playlist on Spotify and just listen to all different bands and see if I find something I like. Basically.
That's cool. Cool choice of bands. Is there any other project or band that you might want to mention for people listening?
No, not really. I have, this WIZDOOM Majestica Therion. That's what I'm doing, and it's enough.
You got a full plate, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So, do you think it's as far as new bands go, Chris, like up and coming bands? Do you think it can be done without a record label? In other words, just with social media, or do you feel that bands need a record label nowadays to make it out there?
This is the hard question. I think it's both yes and no here.
Yeah.
Because I think you can make it without a record label.
Yeah.
And especially if you have the money for it, then you can easily do it without a label. It all depends on what kind of label you get as well, if it's going to be easier with a label. Because not all labels have the resources to promote it properly over social medias and things like this. So if you end up at a smaller label, maybe they will put a lot of effort into it, or maybe they won't. And if they won't do that, then I think it's easier to make it without a label. I think right now it's like a tricky time, because you can almost do everything yourself as a band, and you can make it, but it's a few small things that it's very time consuming and costs a lot of money if you really want to stand out. If you're not like a super genius on social medias and have some super fun material, because if you just have the music, you will be one of a million, you know, on the social media. Exactly. It's a really tricky one to say yes and no to right now, I think.
Yes, all due respect to labels, Nuclear Blast, it's just a question of a business question, I guess, entertainment question. The answers have been different. I ask different artists like yourself the same question, and there's different answers, and a lot of them are the same, you know, yes and no. You can do it with social media, maybe not, you know.
Yeah, exactly, because some bands are good at writing good songs and good at, you know, playing music, but they maybe they even do videos, but maybe they're not the best video editors, because that is not the funny thing. Then some of these bigger labels, they have the resources and they have their internal team with video editors that can help you reach out, because there's so much things happening on social media that it's hard to reach out on the social media today.
Exactly. One more question before I let you go, Chris. It's a sci-fi question. If you could time travel into the future or the past, where would you travel to, and in which year?
Ooh. Well, I think I would travel to one of the years when one of the Black Sabbath records were released, so I could actually experience it as it was.
Right.
Let's say, I don't remember all the years probably, but not the first album. I think I would get in at like the third album, so that might be 71,
73 or 71.
Yeah.
Wow.
So around that time.
Wow, cool answer. Wow, nice.
See them live. How it's supposed to be. Super loud and things like this.
Imagine that. Ozzy in his prime and Iommi, Butler, Ward. Nice.
Yeah, exactly.
What's next for yourself right now, Chris? Where can fans listening, where can we watch you? Where can we find your tour dates? Where can we see you guys play live? WIZDOOM or Majestica or Therion?
So Majestica is having a lot of shows coming up, and we have a tour already this year starting in Germany, a German tour, and then we are doing that 70,000 tons of metal, and then we're having a pretty big festival season. So you can find all these dates at Majestica's webpage, and you can follow Majestica on social medias, where you also can see some cool behind the scenes stuff and things like this. And then you can follow me on Instagram, Chris Davidsson, or on YouTube, TikTok. It's the same name on all of them. And then WIZDOOM is also on social media, so you can go there. I will mostly work on merchandise, because I run the merch store as well, so you can find merch at bangor.rocks, and I have all the bands there, and you know, I ship everything, so I have plenty of work with that right now when it's a new album. And then of course tour preparations for Majestica, as I'm also doing the tour production.
Wow, very cool. You're a busy guy. Full plate.
Yeah,
it's a full plate for sure. February 7th, 2025. Of course, we got Powertrain dropping Nuclear Blast. So people listening, purchase it, pre-order. Look it up on social media. So thank you, Chris. Thank you for your time, and you're an awesome guy. You're an awesome chat. You're a cool rock star.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you.
We'll see you sometime.
I had a good time.
Yes, awesome. We'll see you sometime in the US, hopefully.
Yeah, we are coming to Prog Power next year.
Yes. Oh, wow, nice. Awesome. We'll see you there then. Appreciate that.
See you there.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Chris. Take it easy.
Have a good one. Cheers.
You too. Cheers. Bye-bye. When you speak of a full plate, Chris Davidsson is one of those you should include in that list. This guy is in WIZDOOM, sings, plays bass, records guitars and bass. He plays in Majestica. He plays bass and sings. I can't say co-vocalist, but he sings a lot there. And to top it off, as if that wasn't enough, he is in Therion, the Swedish symphonic metal band. So wow, talk about a full plate here. And don't forget to pick up and pre-order, or the other way around, pre-order, pick up, download, support Majestica with their new album dropping February 7th, 2025, Powertrain. Right now you have access to those videos and singles on streaming services and YouTube, so check that out. Support Mr. Davidsson and the guys. As far as the podcast, thank you guys for supporting, downloading, streaming, subscribing on YouTube and ringing the bell for notifications. Follow us at social media at That Metal Interview. On behalf of your friend James from the planet Earth, don't forget to keep it metal.
That Metal Interview.